Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. And Annyeong Haseo. Welcome to That 70s Rock Fan. As you all know, I have a great love of Korean television and movies. It's grown deeply over the last few years and was pretty affected by the tragic passing in December of Lee Sun-kyun. I did do some videos about it at the time, and a live stream tribute, and then I've since done a video about My Mister, one of his fabulous television performances. And as is the way with these things, the posthumous work is now all being released or has been released. And I've been catching up on his final releases, movie releases, which is poignant, but also shows what the selection of these movies shows what a versatile actor he was. And recently, very recently, I had the chance to watch Project Silence, which was just released last month. And there is one more movie out that I need to check out. But so I'd certainly talk a little bit about Project Silence, but also the last three movies that I've seen that he's the last three releases that he's done. So Project Silence, as I say, I just managed to see. We'll just get on to talking about that a little bit. But it has something in common with another movie that I did manage to see just a few weeks ago, although it was out in 2023. Didn't make a big splash at the time, but has since become a little bit of a cult hit, a movie called Killing Romance, which he starred in with Gong Myung and the great Lee Han-hee, or Honey Lee, as she's sometimes known. What can you say about this movie? It's a musical, it's a love story, it's a murder mystery. Well, it's not a mystery because they're attempting to murder somebody out in the open. And it's about, it's got music in it, it's very kitsch. Lee plays a bizarre, egotistical tech billionaire with all sorts of weird habits who's trapped his Honey Lee, his wife, in a weird, kind of locked down relationship. It's just bonkers. That's all that can be said about it. But he really chews it up in the lead. It's actually quite amusing when you watch it. Although it's hard to describe just what kind of movie was this, but the still images don't do it justice. But brilliant performance by the three leads. But Lee Sun-kyun certainly makes the most of what is a very strange role. Another movie, though, a very different movie that's just been released, is possibly I'm right in saying it's the final movie that was in the can to be released of his. Land of Happiness, which is entirely different in tone. It's a political thriller based upon the real life assassination of President Park Chung-hee, and Lee Sun-kyun plays a intelligence agent implicated in that assassination. So extremely different kind of movie in a different role. So I just waiting for the opportunity to see that. I couldn't see it at the cinema. No cinema releases near her to see it at. So waiting for the chance to get a copy of that. And that, I believe, is his final movie, unfortunately. So watch out for that one. However, Project Silence, I did get the chance to see. It was released last month. And it's also bonkers in its own way. It's a movie with an identity crisis. Is it a disaster movie? Is it an action movie? Is it a science fiction thriller? Is it a political thriller? It's got all of these things mixed up in it. Basically, Lee Sun-kyun's character is a politician, or certainly he's a part of the current part of the administration operating out of the Blue House. Very political creature, political animal. He's taking his daughter to the airport, and it's a very foggy night, and there's an accident on the bridge, and dozens of vehicles are involved. And one of the vehicles that's involved happens to be a part of a secret military project which uses experimental dogs that can be controlled to attack as an attack force. And of course, the crashing of this particular vehicle, these dogs being transported, adds a certain extra element into the disaster on the bridge, which it gets worse as the movie goes on because crashed helicopter causes the bridge to collapse. But basically, the survivors are left fighting for their lives, not only to avoid the bridge collapse, but to escape these killer dogs. One of the main scientists involved with that project is also on the bridge. And also, there's a rather crazy but fun, lovable pickup truck driver, vehicle rescue truck driver, played by the wonderful Ji-hoon. You can see him there with the long hair on the left-hand side of the picture with his little dog, the only non-unfriendly dog in the movie. So a lot of elements in there. I have to say that while some of the action sequences are kind of fun, it's not a movie that's going to stay with you for a long time. You'll watch it, you'll say, that was all right, and then you'll probably move on. Lee Sun-kyun plays a character similar to one or two that he's played before. He is a political animal. His first thoughts are always, what does this mean for my boss in the Department of Security? What does it mean for our administration? Good or bad publicity? And the reveal, and I don't want to give too many spoilers away, is that perhaps his boss knew about this project beforehand. And the government's focus is more on, less than on rescuing the people on the bridge that are still alive, but more on silencing the dogs and silencing the project, which obviously was a very, very bad project involving mistreating an awful lot of animals. So, bonkers movie, very crazy, some neat action, but ultimately not anything you haven't seen before. It is great to see Lee Sun-kyun in anything, as we are now left with just his back catalog legacy. It's always great to see Ji-hoon. So worth watching from that perspective. But probably I would give it more like a 5.5 out of 10 in terms of out of 10 score as a movie, because it's a little bit inconsequential. I think it may have been better if they'd leaned a little more into the science fiction horror part of the dogs, which are pretty scary and effective. But yeah, there it is, Project Silence. One of the final movies we'll see from Lee Sun-kyun. The final one being the just recently released Land of Happiness, which I will be doing a review of when I get the chance to see. But he has an enduring back catalogue of fantastic movies and TV. So, excuse me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this short review of Project Silence. Hopefully you'll tune in again to watch more of my Korean reviews. A couple of great movies coming up in September that I'm going to make the trek to see in the cinema if they are on in the nearest city, including Wang Yongmin's I, the Executioner, or Veteran 2, as it is the follow-up to the 10-year-old police cop action movie Veteran. Definitely looking forward to that. But anyway, until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. and stay well and keep on rocking.